So as our regular viewers are aware, we often do some anomalous weather videos. And here's quite an interesting anomalous video. Check it out. Shout out to David Schlottower, meteorologist, for alerting us to some anomalous weather north of Hawaii. So if you see that system there, look at that rotating low. That is a bizarre rotating low of extremely dry air. As we look at this preliminary, quote, non-operational, end quote, NASA GOES satellite. Now, it looks like it's sending back a bunch of garbage, because if you look at the way these clouds out here over the western U.S. are suddenly evaporating, that doesn't look legit. Also, the way we're getting all this interference at the same time as these clouds are evaporating and the air is suddenly getting, quote, drier, end quote, it looks a little sketchy. So let's look at some other instruments here and see if we can figure out what's going on. And here we are at the shortwave NASA GOES scope here. Move that out of the way. So we can see this low pressure system. It looks quite strong to the north of Hawaii, and we don't see that crazy evaporation as we see in that other map. So it's a strong indication that it isn't happening. And I guess it's a good reason for that particular water vapor scope to be preliminary and non-operational. How about a little AccuWeather.com for the U.S. Doppler radar? See that ice storm that we were looking at yesterday? It's now moving up into Kentucky, southern Illinois, Missouri. Heavy ice fall, as well as heavy snow. Across northeastern California, southern Washington, across northern Nevada into Idaho, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Creeping into Illinois. Look at the ice fall. That looks rough. That is potential for severe icing. Also, we're looking at looks like some pretty heavy storms there. Oh geez. Yeah, some heavy thunderstorms there going across Tennessee, northern Alabama. But man, look at the ice. The ice coverage must be insane in these areas. Southern Illinois especially. That is a severe ice storm. Warning for power outages. You're going to have lines down. And remember, when ice is falling out of the sky, when rain is falling out of the sky, landing on frozen ground and instantly turning into a frozen glaze, don't drive. Seriously, don't drink, don't drive. Stay home, drink, don't drive. Do anything but drive. Did I stress enough not to drive? Here's an article about what's going on over Hawaii. Let's mute that, shall we? All right. So what we're seeing there is a Kona low. And they're going to get hammered, by the way. Also, this will up the risk of earthquakes. For those of you familiar with the Ben Davidson earthquake prediction model, a way to predict earthquakes is to look for a deep earthquake over 100 kilometers depth and then wait for a low pressure system to move in. That's when you should expect to see the larger quake at the surface. There's a satellite image of that low. Check it out. One fortunate thing is at least we don't see a strong coronal hole connection, which is a third variable, and a fourth being a negative BTBZ. A negative BZ on the BTBZ. Coronal holes, low pressure systems, and deep quakes, all associated with stronger surface level quakes. Let's take a look at some of this stuff on the Windy app, courtesy of windy.com. A free app that you're nuts if you don't have it on your phone, because this thing is epic. Now, we're looking at surface level winds right now. Let's look at a forecast. We'll let this play through a bit. As you see, Hawaii is going to get trained. It's going to be a persistent, ultra-heavy rainstorm coming in. There will be localized flooding. Let's bring that back to the current time and look at the upper level winds. Let's go to 9,000 meters, which we often use as a jet stream proxy. There you have what's going on in the upper level. You see these very high-speed winds coming through like this, creating this low through a jet stream disturbance. Let's put a tag here and check the wind speeds. Winds at 9,000 meters all the way up to 143 miles per hour there. You can see jet stream disturbances here over the US. We have this meridional jet stream flow that we've been seeing for about 2 years now. Jet streams coming down in a straight southerly path here. You can see what it's doing over the US. It's actually looking a little more normal in that area. Although we do have a double jet stream, as you can see here. Big disturbances over Eastern Europe here, as you can see. Jet stream making nearly a 180-degree turn here. Extreme meridional jet stream flow. Next, let's look at some pressure here, barometric pressure. Looking at the most heavily hit earthquake regions in the world right here. And over this region, we see these just persistent low pressure areas that just follow the plate boundary. Let that play through so you can see how anomalously these systems move around. It's almost as if they don't care about the jet stream. We have a very strong low moving up here toward Tasmania. So let's move that back and go look at the pressure gradients around Hawaii. And there you have some major pressure gradients. A series of low pressure eddies right here. And the main low pressure system right here. And a series of anticyclonic areas up to the north. See this clockwise rotation associated with positive electrical charge. So heavy pressure gradients are going to be bringing the roof down in Hawaii. Heads up, Hawaiian viewers. If you got a raft, I would inflate it. Also looking at the pressure over the US, we see a massive anticyclone centered on, looks like around Lake Erie is the center of that anticyclonic rotation. Again, you see this clockwise high pressure associated rotation here. Straight up anticyclone. Also, I would note this low pressure, check it out. Major pressure gradients. There's the current radar again. And there are surface winds. And there are the 9,000 meter winds. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Remember, if you get outside before the sun rises or before it's fully light out, take a look on the ecliptic to the east. You'll see Venus and Jupiter out there. close things out with a water vapor map of the U.S. Actually, since it's Sunday and this is a bonus YouTube exclusive, let's go water vapor full disk. There you go.